Good morning, viewers. Let's have a look at the newspaper headlines today, 19 February 2024. Daily Nation: why the mountain is restless. The Standard: cheers to jeers, Ruto no longer darling of many. The Star: Ruto team gives audit both central role in graft war and People Daily. Raila fights for AU job, Ratos allies. Daily Nation: why the mountain is restless. It goes on to say that DP Gachagua forced to reprimand hecklers during presidential tours of the region. Uhuru Kenyatta praised his legacy on the line in unsuccessful succession plan. President Ruto is working to consolidate support in the region, key to his re-election bids. It is the region that installed Kenya Kwanza in power in 2022 presidential election, but the discontent brewing in the vote-rich zone more than a year after the polls has the top brass of the ruling party pitching camp there to turn the tide. Just what is happening there, that's on page 4 and 5. At the top, it's talking of cabinet secretaries' moment of truth. Ministers and House leaders gathered today in Naivasha for a summit to take stock of the government performance that observers say could trigger the first shake-up in the Kenya Kwanza administration. That's on page 8. Top still is the inside shillings 4 trillion budget to pay debt, foster growth. The government has unveiled the 2024-2025 financial year spending plan that coincides with mega loan maturities that have forced imposition of harsh taxation measures. That's on page 10. There is also a story about Kalonzo there, which says that we will soldier on without Raila. Kalonzo says that former Vice President says that AU top job bid for Raila Odinga will not delay the opposition coalition from the goal to check government and offer alternative leadership. That's on page 4. There is also a boost. It says that community health workers get shillings 3 billion. Goes on to say that thousands of community health promoters have received their stipends after the government released shillings 3 billion to cater for their monthly pay. That's on page 2. At the bottom of the paper, there is persistent nationwide blackout. Blackouts have caused huge losses for household and industries. And that's on the dark side of Kenya Power. And it goes on to say that it's a state monopoly tasked to light up the country, keeps industries running, and critical services like hospitals sustaining lives. But the operation of one of the key national installation have kicked up a national furor over incoordinate delays in new connections, repair of broken down transformers, and questionable billing systems. That's on page 6 and 7. Let's have a look at the Standard. Cheers to jeers, Ruto no longer darling of many. Simmering anger. Increasingly, the president is facing hostile crowds from his support base. It started in Rift Valley, and now Mount Kenya has perfected the art of jeering leaders in his presence. Has the populace run out of patience with their leaders, or are they just frustrated? Something here about Ruto. It says there's something what Ruto said in one of the rallies. Says that I want readers to be respected. Her calling is for ODM, and we don't want ODM shenanigans in UDA. We do not want this kind of nonsense. We want united country. That was William Ruto. Alright. On top there is a London woman who goes to jail over FGM. Trump hit where it hurts most. On the right side there is a story about Joho. It says that Joho's 2027 stab rattles ODM diehards. Former Mombasa Governor Hassan Joho's presidential ambition has stirred ODM with leaders staking out who will inherit Raila's post as the party's primary beacons. At the bottom is high fees pushing children out of schools. It goes on to say that education outcome. A report shared by the Kenya Union shows that a government plan to spend less in education and push parents to pay levies has denied thousands of children access to education, further widening social and economic disparities. That is on page 16. It goes on to say that 79% of the African Union countries are planning to decrease total government spending as a percentage of GDP between 2023 and 2025. 44%. 15 African Union countries are already spending more on debt servicing than they are on education. This number is probably greater as full data is not available for 18 countries. 73% of the 52 African Union countries studied, the IMF identifies that 73 are debt distress, significant risk of distress. Alright, that's what we have on the Standard. The Star. Ruto team gives audit both central role in graft war. Goes on to say that Nancy Gagongo could recommend debarments of unscrupulous entities. That is on page 6. There is a picture and a story of AU honoring Mwalimu Nyerere with a statue at its offices. Bottom there. At the top, why Raila AU job bids has united Kenya's top politician. That is on page 4 and 5. Alright, Head of Public Service Felix Koskei orders crackdown on illegal silence. Head of Public Koskei has ordered an imminent crackdown on all vehicles that are allegedly fitted with sirens and strobe lights, saying the state was concerned as many government and private-owned vehicles were causing security risk by creating safety concerns on road users. Want probe MPs link Baringo attack to quest for their own county. Alright. That goes to say that the banditry attack in Baringo have now metamorphosed into displacement of population with the aim of acquiring more land to create a new county. Lawmakers from the region claim the MP say the violence has gone far beyond cattle theft and have asked for investigation. Prevent bleeding. Vital drug offers relief for moms during childbirth. Mothers will from next month have access to a new drug that prevents excessive bleeding after childbirth following the government's procurement of 36,000 doses of heat stable carbetocin, a new formulation vital in reducing maternal mortality. As the Star and People Daily, Raila fight for AU job rattles allies. Panic. ODM calls for crucial meeting to discuss party's future. If opposition chief clinches seat as Kalonzo assures that Azimio coalition will be safe in safe hands, that is on page 4. Auditor sheds light on passport delays. On the top, Ruto's headache in Naivasha key talks. After suffering string of self-inflicted setbacks in courts on legal plans and rising despair by core supporters and wounded presidential threats to take stock, that is on page 6. At the bottom there, state releases shillings 3 billion for health promoters. Over 107,000 workers have been celebrated as the unsung heroes in Universal Health Coverage campaign. That's on page 13. That's what we have on the paper headlines. Do have a good day.